This is a piece by Damien Hirst, and it was created in 1992, and it is called The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living. Okay, fantastic title. And this is a shark in a tank of formaldehyde. This really put Damien Hirst on the map, this work of art. He won the Turner Prize, which is part of the Tate Modern, and was given the ability to make this piece. So what he did, I like to tell the story because it's a fascinating story that's linked to money and linked to value and linked to celebrity of a work also, and eventually the celebrity of this artist. Damien Hirst is the highest paid living artist right now. And well, maybe highest paid is not the best word, but he commands the most money for his work, a living work of art. Yeah. So if a Van Gogh went up for sale right now, it would be sold for the multi-millions. The most expensive work of art at auction just sold for 500 million, which is $500 million. So that's unbelievable, and it was for this work of art. So when we talk about works of art and what they're valued, living artists often command less money. And sometimes you will see people say, buy works of art from living artists because they need the money, not people like Van Gogh who can't use the money. The unfortunate thing is people like Van Gogh never had much money when they were alive. Yeah, some artists have, like Damien Hirst, like Picasso, they achieved notoriety during their lifetimes, and that's kind of a wonderful thing. So let's look at Damien Hirst's shark. Yeah, so this is a 17-foot steel and glass tank. It's filled with formaldehyde solution, and within it was suspended a 14-foot tiger shark. Yeah. Now, Hearst paid about $6,000 to have the shark caught in Australia. This is in 1992. And the remainder of the work, the tank, the preservation process, it cost about um, it cost about 50,000 pounds. So I made a mistake. I said dollars. It wasn't $6,000. It was 6,000 pounds, which at the time was about $12,000 to catch the shark, and about $100,000 American dollars to make the tank and the formaldehyde. So you're talking about a work of art that is $112,000 to make. Now, various people had issues with this because this was a once living creature. So some people questioned the ontology of this piece, that how can this be a work of art? It's more like taxidermy. And, it also, for some people, they just, the ethics of it, they didn't think were a good thing, that this once living creature was devastated just to make a visual work of art. All right, so what he really wanted, Damien Hirst, was for you to look at this shark and think, if I were in the water with this shark, it could eat me and kill me. Yeah. And so this would give me this contemplation of life and death. But at the same time, I'm also looking at this shark that is no longer alive. So what we were seeing was this huge contemplation about our life, the shark's life, and life and death. He wanted something that we could fear when we looked at this shark. Now, again, people had issues with it, and some even just said it's not art. And maybe some thought, well, this is a new Duchamp fountain, that we're really shaking up the art world with this piece. Now, the story gets interesting because the formaldehyde solution wasn't done correctly. So because of this poor preservation process, the shark began to deteriorate. The water began to get cloudy, and in 1993, the shark was removed from the tank. It was gutted. It was put on a mold because it was in bad shape. And ultimately, Damien Hirst was not happy with the shark because he said it doesn't look fearful anymore. Now it just looks like a fake thing, and it no longer looked like something that could eat us. Yeah. Now, this is where the story gets really interesting because in 2006, that work in its poor condition sold for $8 million. Yeah, so it was originally made for $112,000. It sold for $8 million. It made Damien Hirst one of the most valued living artists. And when the work was sold, the new buyer spent over $100,000, almost what the original piece sold for, would cost to make, to get a new shark to put in this tank. And the person said, well, I've just spent 8 million, so another $100,000 is pretty inconsequential. So he wanted to get the work back to its pristine condition, here's a picture of it. This is a picture I took at the Met. I saw this piece in 1992, and I actually saw it when it was starting to get cloudy and it was just kind of not so good looking. And then I saw this new one that was done here, and it was shared with the Met. So it was on display at the Met for probably about 2 years. And I have to say that it's not my favorite work, but there is something really beautiful about the blue, about the water. The shark I'm not the craziest about the shark, but intellectually, I'm fascinated by the piece. Those in Las Vegas here at the Palms, we have another Damien Hirst shark in one of the bars, and so it's over the bar, so you can visit it and have a cocktail. So it's not this is not the only shark that Damien Hirst has made. So, anyways, it's kind of a wonderful story, but when you think about the value of a work of art, and even the fact that this work of art that was deteriorating, this work of art that people thought wasn't art, the celebrity of it made the value of the work monetarily go up. And it put Damien Hirst on the map. You can now follow Damien Hirst on Instagram if you want to see the new works of art that he's doing and what he's now creating. So one more picture of Damien Hirst's shark. I took this before I left the museum on that day, and it was just a kind of wonderful image with the light coming through the window, and again, that beautiful kind of blue. Yeah, I look at a blue like that, and I think that's kind of blue like Cezanne understood that color of blue. So it's quite wonderful. Damien Hirst, shark. Death, the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living.